This episode was Snoozeville. Robin, I was rooting for you. You continue to disappoint me. Candace, keep the same energy. I'm loving your new tagline, or they finally added the taglines. So I'm welcome to Talking Taste with Ty. Let's talk about it. First of all, let's talk about the tagline. Candace wins the war of the taglines. Her tagline was, "My vocals are clean, but my reads are for filth." I mean, kind of epic and very much Candace. I love her energy, and she's pint sized, but she packs a punch verbally. That is. The scene opens with Wendy and Eddie, and oh my goodness, can I just gush over their? I can't gush over their family enough. I mean, they have the most adorable family. The boys, baby Cameron. I mean, they're all just beyond adorable. So they're having cute little family fun time. The boys are getting some type of one-on-one football drills, and Wendy's hyping them up, and they're making jokes about being future NFL stars. I love that. I hope it comes to pass, and we can look back on this footage and say, you know what, this is where it began. But Wendy pulls Eddie to the side after kind of watching the kids play around, and she brings up this fun this fun Nigerian restaurant situation and Peter Thomas. And my goodness, how could I love Eddie any less? He's like, he's not my friend, that's your friend. Talking about Peter Thomas, and he's an attorney. Like, let me know the numbers. Well, it's going to be 1.6 million, and you see his face. But our part, listen, smart move, Wendy. Lead in with the worst case scenario and then dial it back. But our part is only going to be 300,000. I have so much going on, and I'm not going to, take on all that responsibility. So this gets me kind of in the door, a good, investment with me doing less of the work. And Eddie was like, listen, you've limited bandwidth. What are you talking about? You just finished this, or started this home essentials or line of, candles, and she wants to do more home goods. You just started this line. Why are you trying to do more? And Wendy was like, listen, I can't just pass these opportunities up. And I get it. I feel like Wendy understands that her time on this show and on this platform is limited. And I think she wants to capitalize on that. And I understand it. But she also has to be really strategic about it and not stretch herself so thin. It just is not going to go well for her or her family if she continues to, again, stretch herself so thin. I don't understand why she doesn't have a team around her yet. I've seen two staff members of Ashley, who has no job, Darby, besides the show, that is. And I haven't seen the same with Wendy. I don't see nannies. I don't see assistants. I don't see people around her, helping her. So I do wonder if she has hired a team around her for that support, because as many hats as she is wearing is definitely needed. So Wendy, if you haven't done it, get on it. It's time to write those checks and, start hiring help, whether it's, nannies, personal chefs, publicists, I mean, just people to help you, because you need it, and it's okay to ask for help. Let's see. She tells him about the Robin argument at the studio, and Eddie again cracks me up. One of my favorite housewife husbands out of all the franchises, and he's like, TikTok Ashley. That was epic. I love that. Oh, Ashley and her TikToks. But she tells him what went on and Robin's energy and how she invited all the women to this family fun day and left her out. Then we get Robin's take on it. So the scene then goes over to Robin and Juan. You see them having some family fun time. This was a very family centric episode. You get to see kind of everyone one-on-one with their kids or their spouses before moving on to the collective family fun day. So we get over to Robin and Juan and the boys, and they're outside because Robin's competitive. She's like, I want to win this family fun day. So we're practicing. So she has the kids and Juan out there practicing like Juan's going to show up. Spoiler alert, he does not show up for family fun day. But my favorite part was when Carter called out Juan, and Wendy was like, or I'm sorry, oh, mistake. Robin said, oh, well, we have one. He's a world-class athlete. And Carter says, he is a world-class bench player. And his dad's like, what? What'd you say? What'd you say? Okay, I'm going to show you. Then he proceeds to lose the sack race that they had in the yard. So Robin goes to Juan, and she too is having this discussion with Juan about everything that went on at the event. And she tells Juan, I'm thinking about extending an olive branch, not to Wendy, but to her kids, because I don't want the kids to feel left out. So I'm going to call Candace and see if she's willing to play auntie, and she can bring Wendy's kids so they can participate. And Juan, listen, I know you don't show up for scenes much, but when you show up, I'm going to need for you to give something more. This was you're just sitting here agreeing with Robin's foolishness. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Boo. No, it's not. You know better than that. I think you were just going on along to get along, because you did not look like you wanted to film this scene. In fact, you never look like you want to film a scene with Robin or be on the Housewives. And that's okay. I can understand that. But he agrees with her. And she then tells him what's going on with the Giselle and Chris situation, and how Giselle felt uncomfortable. And Robin and Juan, I don't, Robin just explained this story to him a little bit more, like, concisely than you did. I think you gave him a very small snippet of the story, because then Juan tells her, oh, well, then if Chris made her feel uncomfortable, he should apologize, failing to mention that he did absolutely nothing to make her feel uncomfortable, and that this is a story that she concocted in her head, because he did not say anything. He did not do anything. We flip over to our man, Eddie. Eddie clocked the situation immediately. Keep in mind, he's an attorney. He sees this. He's like, oh, they're going after another husband. You mean Chris, the one that cooks for them? Yeah, Chris is the one that cooks for them. He clocked that situation immediately. Like, basically, why are they trying Chris? Why are they trying to get Chris? And he knows, again, that Chris is just the next in line on Giselle's hit list. So we go back to Robin. And Robin picks up the phone and FaceTimes Candace. And she has these huge glasses on. I need to know what kind of glasses these are. Do these look like the Louis Vuitton frames, the blue light glasses? Again, I'm not sure. I need to go back and zoom in on those. I didn't see the LV on the side, but they were adorable. And says, hey, Candace, I really want Wendy's kids there. And, do you think you could maybe reach out to Wendy and see if it's okay if you bring the kids? Now, actually screams, woo, yay, like she's celebrating. Then we get to Candace's confessional, and she's like, Wendy's going to tell me to go to hell. And then she's going to tell Robin to go to the hell beneath the hell that she tells me to go. And again, this is where Robin, I can't stand you. Like, I want to like you so much, but this was totally unreasonable. You knew, spoiler alert, that she was going to say no. How would you like it if someone put you in that exact same situation? And why would Wendy send her kids someplace to someone that has animosity with their mother alone, without, a parental figure there that is either Eddie or Wendy? It's just ridiculous. It's stupid. Robin's olive branch to Wendy should have been, listen, I know we're having some issues. I would love for you to bring your children. Let's just squash these issues for the day for the kids, and let's all play and be merry. But listen, let's just get into it. That event was absolutely ridiculous and lame, and gosh, it looked like she put it together on a $50 budget. Wendy, Eddie, your adorable children, you did not miss a thing. So moving on to our Karen. So we get to see more, again, family time. And we see Karen talking to her daughter, Raven. Raven's gorgeous. She's living in New York. I'm not sure what she does career-wise in New York, but she found her way to the red carpet of the Met Gala, looking gorgeous. And, Karen's so proud of her and says she was just living vicariously through her. She's this young 20-something girl in New York, just living her best life. I'm sure having Karen Huger as your mother doesn't hurt either. But Karen's also throwing out chicken. She went to, as she ages, She went to a doctor and just, I think she had like a workup done about which foods agreed with her the most, and I think chicken was a food that she had trouble digesting, so she's eliminating chicken from her diet. So she was throwing out chicken. It looks like she was trashing it, so I'm sure that chicken probably could have been frozen or given to, you know, a shelter or something, but that's neither here nor there. I do love the communication between Wendy and Raven. They talk like good girlfriends. It's absolutely adorable. And Wendy's telling Raven about her conversations with Ray about plastic surgery, and when Raven's like, no, he didn't. Honey, that's your daddy. But it was really cute. Again, you can tell that they're good girlfriends, and that's one of the beauties of having a daughter. I have 2 sons, so I would not know anything about that. But moving on, we get to Ashley. Ashley is meeting with her publicist, Aunt Taya. Aunt Taya. It's spelled like Aunt T, but I think it's Aunt Taya or something similar to that. Really pretty name, super cool, chill girl with beautiful long braids, and she looks like a lot of fun. But she's working with Ashley on drafting her separation statement, or she's reading through the separation statement that Ashley and Michael drafted together. Now I was looking at Ashley's phone, and my first thought was, did someone in Michael's camp or Michael's team write this and then email this to Ashley and say, listen, this is what you're going to say? Or was Ashley really involved in the drafting of this statement? Because it would appear that if she were to draft a statement like that, it would be something that she would do with her publicist. But instead, again, just reading it off her phone, it looked like it was in an email. And I'm like, was that email to her from someone else? But I mean, it doesn't matter. This is it. And her publicist is telling her, I think we're in March right now, March 30th. And the publicist is like, hey, listen, we're right here in April. We want to release this at the beginning of April. That's next week. And Ashley's like, oh, well, okay. That's where we end. So we move on to Robin and her boys at this field. Guess it's a park. Didn't seem like an official park. Everyone was parking in like a little dirt road area. And you saw some soccer nets that have been set up and kind of, you know, moved to the side. And Robin was just unloading some sacks for the sack race. A few trays of some type of food and some really flimsy, you know, Dollar Tree tablecloths and setting up some tables. It was basic. It was basic to say the least. But we do see Giselle and her daughter Grace on their way. Her twins, who are more athletic than Grace, couldn't make the event. So Grace is repping to be Giselle's family at this event. We go over to Mia and Gordon, and the 2 kids are in the back, and you see G and Mia talking. I think there was this Mormon church at like a castle, and Mia was like, oh, when I was a young girl and my aunt would come and pick me up, I would see this church and it would look like, you know, Disney World. I'm like, okay, the castle at Disney World. She then segues with the children just right here in the back. I mean, they're not in like a large Suburban. They're in a Mercedes 4-door coupe. I mean, they're just in like a Mercedes crossover SUV that they're in. And she's in this deep conversation about her mother and, again, her mother's addiction. And unpopular opinion, Mia, I get it. Childhood trauma. You know, it happens, but at your big age, you should be able to have a better understanding of things. That, listen, things don't always work out the way that you want them to. You can only start from, you know, where you are in your relationship with your mom. And I believe Wendy's just going to continuously blame this lady. She says, you know, that she's finally learning to accept this with conversations on her aunt, that her mom might have stunted growth because of her addiction. And that when she sees her, she's going to have to treat her like, you know, Jacqueline and take care of her. And I'm just like, your mom seems very well adjusted now. It feels like, or it looks like, her addiction is in her past. And if I'm not mistaken, her mother is very close to a sibling of Mia's that Mia seemed very jealous of last season, that they had such a great relationship. And I thought, is Mia's mom just not like that fond of, not just, I mean, we know you're allowed, people have favorite kids, it happens. But Mia's a lot to take, and maybe Mia's mother doesn't really want to be a constant part of Mia's world. Maybe she doesn't feel comfortable there because Mia's always putting on. She's always so extra. I wonder if she like that with her family. But maybe Mia's mom is like, listen, she's built this life. She has this husband and these kids, and I could drop in and visit her. I don't have to hover. She doesn't need my care to maybe the extent that her sibling needs my care. So this is the child that I'm going to focus on. They always say your favorite child is at the time the child that needs you the most. And again, maybe it's not Wendy, but as an adult, Wendy, you should totally understand that. And as a mother, you should understand that. And you should stop using your mother's addiction for a storyline. And you should not bring your mother's addiction up in front of your children. You should not paint that image of your mother to her grandchildren. That's not fair to her as she tries to build a relationship with them. But they get to the event, and Mia eventually sees it and was like, what are we coming into? Well, I wouldn't expect anything less. Did she call Robin? I believe she called her regular or basic. I mean, it's Robin. She's our sporty gal. She's not known for being stylish. She's not known for putting on the most elaborate events. But if she went to so much trouble to throw this, put this event together to leave Wendy out, you think she would have tried to make it grand, like make it an event that Wendy would have wanted to be at, make her miss something. Because honey, watching this, she didn't miss a thing. I mean, Mia, like her 13-year-old son, wishes she would have skipped the event. Let's see. Oh, let's get back to Mia in the car with G. It's something I did want to point out was G asked her how were things going with Candace, and she calls Candace a child when speaking of her, and that's a problem I have with a lot of ladies. Candace is young, yes, but in her very fewer years than most of you on this show, she's accomplished that much more. She's not someone's mother yet, and people should not hold motherhood as some type of pinnacle above her. I mean, she's completed her master's degree from Howard. She is a musician now. She's on the same platform just as you are, but she's managed to use it a lot better than Mia, than Giselle, than Robin, and Ashley. And she's the only one who, she and Wendy really are the only ones who seem to be hustling with this platform. Like, we're going to make it work because we understand, again, we're not going to be here forever, and we don't want to be pining and to come back. Like, this can't be our entire career. Oh, and Karen with her perfume and her candle line. So I'll give that to Karen as well. She wants to work to make it a little bit more, which is why I think we see Karen taking such a back seat lately. So then we get to the event, and Juan's not there. He had to have a root canal, and he woke up that morning and he had some facial deformity. So he was not there. Mia said, I guess G's going to be the community husband to everyone because no one was there with a spouse. And we noticed that Robin brought no awards for any of the events. And she said, you know what? It's going to have to be the satisfaction of winning. That's your reward for this event. So, they get there. Ashley and Candace are late to the event, and Karen is kind of, they're all standing in a circle talking, Mia, Giselle, Robin, and Karen. And Robin gets a text from Candace about Wendy saying absolutely not about bringing her kids. And Karen gets wind of this, and she's like, what? And she's like, oh yeah, Wendy's not invited. And Karen's like, I missed one event, and you heifers like lose your minds. I mean, Karen missed one event, and the pettiness comes out. And Karen kind of clocks Robin on that. Now, I wonder if Karen, to me, because people are giving Karen a lot of backlash for not bringing it this season. She's not having a lot of true drama this season. She's avoiding Charisse like the plague because I don't think she wants any drama. If she's trying to really take more of a matriarchal, neutral position and be the voice of reason within this group, almost in a way that Patricia is on Southern Charm. Like, oh, let me guide these wayward children. I really believe that's what Karen wants to be, but the audience wants and needs a lot more from her. So we'll see if we get more towards the end of the season. But as of right now, she really checks, Robin about that. And Giselle tries to pipe up and was like, Karen, you weren't there. Like, you didn't hear everything that went down. And Karen's like, it doesn't matter. This is, a family fun day. Don't invite this woman's kids and not invite her. That's just a slap in the face. And Robin Dixon wouldn't let her kids go with anyone anywhere either. And Robin knows that's true. They split up into teams and they do some fun events. They start off with a sack race. They do a 3-legged race, which no one seemed to understand the rules of a 3-legged race. They do tug of war. They do limbo. And so they do some little fun events. But throughout all of this, Charisse shows up. And after the sack race, Charisse pops in. And Karen just starts coughing. Woo! Goodness, I guess Karen's getting over a respiratory infection, probably RSV. I know it's going around here in our state. Maybe it was going around then. But she asked G to walk her to her car, and she was out. Done. Saw Charisse popped out. Like, get breathe. Her hands were above her head. She's been all dramatic. Like, oh, Karen. Now I believe she was probably really sick. And I believe that she used that as an excuse to bounce when she saw Charisse. Again, Karen's trying to avoid the drama this season. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah, and this, again, is such a boring episode. You're trying to really dig for things. Mia in the sack race, hot mess. She's had so much plastic surgery done, and it shows. It's a shame, really. Her lips are alarmingly large. Candace gets there. Oh my God. Okay, see, I'm not really that much of a Candace stan, but sometimes she's a breath of fresh air to the BS, She walks in and she's wearing her natural hair in a roller set, and it's just fluffy and flying, and she's always wearing something crop top to show off her little tiny waist, and she just looked adorable. She's so pocket-sized and cute. Pays Giselle dust. Tells Grace hi, tells everyone around Giselle hello, ignores Giselle, and Giselle is so baffled in the confessional. She just cannot believe that Candace would just take it there. Like, it was not that serious. Giselle, you really tried to, in a Me Too society, you really have tried her husband's entire reputation. This could affect his current employment. This could affect him being on this show. This could affect Candace being on this show, which those are two things that you know. And she's playing a really serious game. It's a very dangerous game. Let's see. When she sees Giselle, Candace in the confessional says that Giselle is invited to find the very blackest part of her ass and kiss it. Again, Candace, the wordsmith, she's always coming through just as I need her to with the sound bites. Is phenomenal. Ashley gets there with the boys, and she tries to do the limbo, and she falls. That was pretty funny. The kids were like, "Mom, what's happening?" She falls flat on her back. Mia asks why they were all sitting in a group, and Candace was explaining to Cherie, while everyone was limboing and doing games, Candace was kind of explaining the situation to Charisse about Chris. And then we get all of the ladies together in one group. This is where the conversation got a little weird for me. Mia just seriously asked Ashley in a very newscaster-like way, well, why are you and Michael separated? And, Ashley says that, a lot of the things that they did in the beginning of their marriage, like threesomes and stuff, she's really not down for that as she's gotten older and she's a mom and she wants to have a more traditional marriage. And that Michael is having a vasectomy while they were at Family Fun Day because he thinks that she is trying to trap him with another baby. And I'm thinking, Candace, if you guys are separated and you are not sleeping together, then how would that ever happen? Mia in the confessional says that Michael just doesn't want any other illegitimate kids out there. And I thought, oh, good grief, Mia. Okay. Maybe she's not wrong, but the way that she worded it, I didn't like it. I was slightly offended by that. But talking about threesomes, Jacqueline had to jump in because Jacqueline is there with her husband. And they are currently going through a divorce. And she explained that to the ladies, that they're going through a divorce, but he's her PP, her parenting partner. And I thought, interesting, because you're about to badmouth this parenting partner to the ladies. And she was like, oh, he just wanted threesomes, and I wasn't down for that. And the ladies were like, well, are you bisexual? Are you gay? I don't know. I'm still questioning this. And I'm looking at Mia, and I'm looking at, wherever Gordon is, and I'm thinking, what is their relationship really like? Because, again, I have questions, and I want to know what is really behind this huge social media fallout that they're having. A lot of people are contributing this to the fact that maybe Jacqueline wants to take Mia's spot, and that she's befriending her friends. I think they showed her in a photo with Robin and Mia together, that, oh, Jacqueline wants to be on the show. But if she's your friend, wouldn't you want her to be on the show with you as an ally? You wouldn't view that as, oh, she's trying to take my place, but she's coming in here, and we're going to be thick as thieves, and she's going to be my girl, or my ride or die, like Robin and Giselle. But I don't think Mia's ego allows her to think that way. Let's see. But when they were talking about the sexuality and everything, keep in mind there are tons of kids running around. Robin ends that conversation like, okay, guys, let's wrap it up. Let's dead this talk. We then go to Ashley and Candace, and they're having a moment. It's short-lived, as we know, and Ashley's always so full of it. She's always so fake. And I hate that Candace ever gives her the time of day, because she does not mean you well. But she was telling Ashley about her hardships with IVF, and that they had to stop the treatments due to some follicles, some things just not going the way that they anticipated them going. So they're on pause. And Ashley was like, oh, but you'd be such a great mother. And I've written about you in my journal and sprinkled baby dust on you. And they get to the confessional, and Candace is like, I don't need you doing anything that's not Jesus for me. And honestly, someone who does not wish you well, don't pray for me, don't think about me, don't utter my name, don't write my name. I don't need your toxic, negative energy contributing to anything in my life. Like, again, Ashley does not wish Candace well. She does not see it for Candace. She does not like Candace. So stop faking. And I hope you really do not write her name in a journal and sprinkle baby dust on it. Do not give that woman any of your bad energy. At the end is Ashley in her car driving in circles. Based on the next episode, it looks like she may have been driving or in Candace Bassett's neighborhood. But she's driving in circles. Her publicist calls her, she hears the news or sees the news alert that it's been announced that she and Michael are separating. She's trying to call Michael. It is going straight to the person you've tried to reach is currently not available, aka he has blocked you. She calls her publicist and trying to figure out what's going on. They were trying to strategically release this statement for Michael's business relationships benefit and some other things in the works. They just didn't want it to, blindside him. So she's trying to figure out what to do. Michael won't talk to her, and her publicist is like, well, you need to go ahead and release the statement ASAP. I mean, the news has leaked. The question is, who leaked it? You go back to the very beginning of the episode. I'm not sure if it was this episode. It was last episode when they were at the TikTok dance class. And it was Charisse asking Ashley, when are you going to announce your separation? And they made it a point to show that clip leading into this episode, and made it a point to show us that it was Charisse who, asked that question. And I thought, oh my goodness, are they trying to insinuate that Charisse leaked this? I mean, let's just be honest. She's filming. The only people that know this information right now should be Michael's team, Ashley, the cast, and crew. So who leaked it? Did Ashley leak it herself? I don't know. I don't know if we ever get to the bottom of it, or if it becomes a big issue of who leaked it, but I hope so. That's really all that we had this episode. Robin, again, just disappointed. I hope you redeem yourself next episode. It does not look like you will. Wendy, want you to have more of a storyline. This work cannot be your storyline. It looks like you and Robin are going to come to, ahead next week. And Candace finally sees Ashley for who she is. Well, she's seen her for who she is, but she was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Honey, always go with your gut. always go with your gut. You didn't like her before. Don't try to like her now. You are right to not like her because she is the enemy. She's ops. Ashley and Giselle are always plotting. You cannot tell me they're not working together. Just back from the days that Ashley was ringing Karen Huger's doorstep and trying to leave pieces to see if she really lived in this house that she claimed to live in. Ashley's a joke as she rides with Giselle for whatever reason, but she's not your friend, and you'll see that next week for sure. But yeah, that was it. It was kind of a snoozeville episode. It was definitely a filler leading into the next episode's drama. So join me next time. This has been Talking Taste with Ty. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe below, and look forward to talking with you about the next episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Love and light.